Jesus. This morning I woke up and I realized today is the day that I get working for you.
Lauren, I'm so excited that someone has willing to take action and do some work for Jesus.
I'm your girl.
Awesome. I've got some perfect things for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Let's get started.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well,
We were talking about taking some action.
this is where I always sit.
Right, but we need to be doing more.
Okay, I see what you're getting at. Hold on. How about $50?
No. That's not what I meant.
You're such a hard bargain. 100. But don't cash this until next Friday, if you know what I mean.
Lauren, it's great that you want to give. But I was thinking maybe you could help with Vacation Bible School.
I don't know about that. I don't really like kids.
Lauren, what about that girl at school?
She's different.
Yeah, but she needs to know about me.
Yeah, but I'm not really comfortable with that.
Lauren, I want you to do that. I want you to share Jesus with that girl.
But I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not, no.
Lauren, you know what your problem is? You're just too comfortable.
How's everyone doing today? Good? Good. If I gave my message a title, it would be You Can't Fulfill Your Calling in Your Comfort Zone. So what does that mean? It means that God can't give you what He wants to give you if you are not willing to step out and trust God for what He wants to do in your life. I'm sure most of you have heard the story of Jonah. God wanted Jonah to go to Nineveh to preach and to warn the people if they did not turn from their evil ways in 40 days, their city would be overthrown. Because Jonah went in different direction and didn't obey God at first, he ended up in the belly of a whale, or a great fish. While he was in the belly of the fish, he repented and told God he would go. Because he went, God was able to use Jonah to save the people of Nineveh. Another example would be Moses. Exodus chapter 4, verse 10 says, But Moses pleaded with the Lord, O Lord, I am not very good with words. I never have been, and I'm not now. Even though you have spoken to me, I get tongue-tied and my words get tangled. Though Moses had a speech problem, God was able to use Moses to free God's people. It's only after you stepped out of your comfort zone that you begin to change, grow, and transform. Another example would be Jeremiah. God wanted to use Jeremiah to preach, but Jeremiah thought he was too young and had a mission to complete and a message to deliver to his generation. Just like us, we have a mission and a message to deliver to our generation. Jeremiah thought he was too young, but God can use every single person. Everyone has a calling and everyone has a purpose. It doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are, He can use everyone. You may think you are too young or too old, but yeah, God has a purpose for everyone. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11 says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. It's kind of like my testimony. If you would have told me maybe 2 years ago I would be singing, or even a couple months ago that I would be speaking, I probably would have thought, you were crazy. It took a lot for me to get up here today. I'm not one to get up and speak. But this message, I thought, it came to my heart because so many people today have trouble getting out of their comfort zone. It's comfortable to them. And God can still use you, but He can give you greater things when you step out and take a leap of faith. So God can use everyone, and nothing is impossible with God. Satan is going to do all he can to make you think you are not good enough, but that is only one of the many lies he will tell you. Satan tries to put stuff in your head that you're not good enough, you could never measure up. But God has a plan for you, and he can do anything. Everyone has a gift and everyone has a calling. You may think you're doing something small, but nothing is small for God. You could be going to witness to the people at the nursing home or, to the homeless shelter. Just that small little thing helps. And whether you're sharing Jesus to one person, and if you can win over even one person, God very much appreciates that. I have a story that I want to share, and this story is about being in your comfort zone. And it's just, I really like this story. Once upon a time, there were 2 grains of wheat lying on the floor of a warm and cozy barn. But one day, the farmer came in and told them, "I want to take you out of your comfortable barn and plant you in the earth. I'm going to place you in the cold ground and cover you with soil. It will be dark and you will die, but I promise that you will multiply and become very fruitful." The first grain of wheat turned down the suggestion. "No way," he said. "Count me out. I like my comfort, and I don't want to die." But the second one, after carefully considering the pain and discomfort of dying, decided the promise of a future harvest was worth the sacrifice. So the farmer took him outside and planted him in the ground, while allowing the first grain of wheat to remain inside the barn. So the second one was willing to give himself away to God so that he could be more fruitful and produce more, and that could help him out. And a few days later, a small green sprout appeared over where the seed had been planted. Then it grew and became a tall stalk of wheat that produced 100 more grains. For the next 40 years, the farmer planted all the seeds that had originated from that first grain of wheat, and year after year the harvest multiplied. However, the grain of wheat that stayed in the barn remained there by itself, never multiplying, but he was very comfortable. Which grain of wheat are you? Are you playing it safe, or have you let Christ plant you in the world? The only way you'll ever become useful and fruitful in God's kingdom is to abandon your old selfish desires and get out of your comfort zone and serve the Lord by serving others. So if you get out there, you take that leap of faith, you can be witnessing to others, winning them over to God so that they can be in eternal life for forever. You got to get out there. You got to get out of your comfort zone. And it's not comfortable. And you may be scared like Jonah. He was scared and went the opposite direction. He got on a boat, and because of that, there was a big storm, and he put others in danger. But then he went and obeyed God and was able to save the people of Nineveh from their city being overthrown. And though Moses had a speaking problem, God was still able to use him. And, you may not be able to do it physically or, whatever, but God can use you no matter what, the big or small. And when you take those leaps of faith, it may be small at first, but it will lead to bigger and better things for God. It will get bigger. The more you obey God, it will get bigger and better for him. And Jeremiah thought he was too young. He thought he could not preach because he was too young, but he wasn't. God was able to use him and to let him witness to other people. So I just encourage you to get out of your comfort zone, because I promise you God will greatly appreciate it, and he loves you, and you will witness to others.